What's good? This is Josh from Neg2YGO. This is the round 2 of our World Celebration. Just as I mentioned before in the previous video, I mentioned it again here, it is the TCG ban list, not the World's ban list. Store chose, I think, for simplicity. Win dice roll here against Spright. Young guy, but it was chill. Using Gazelle, explain what it does, and he ends up wanting to Ghost Ogre it. I think I think I might have had a Chimera Fusion in hand at this point. No, maybe not. Searching one there. And then I get drolled as well, which is really rough. Drop the Chimera Fusion, but I do have Fiend plus Illusion in hand. So I'm able to go up into the Baphomet. Just use the Baphomet here. I figure there's not much point in using the Big Wing here, because there's potential to then use it later on the turn, dumping a Mirror Sword Knight. I use Burfo to dump the Sinister Necrom, which is gonna get me access into Fiendsmith line. So I can still, set up the wave high or something like that through the droll. Droll actually does not stop that coming down. So summon at the Engraver, in theory, could go for the wave high directly here with the Burfo fusion, but don't really want to do that when I can just Necro equip and then bring back the Engraver separately. Does not feel correct. Engraver, shuffle back Requiem. At this point, we are in Nibiru range. But if I do get Nibiru, you can always go through the Link Spider, then into Main the Reliever to at least have some sort of interaction on board. Go into Wave High and set and pass with, was that 2 in hand? It's not terrible. Just having a look at what we got. Drops the Ruis at the start of his turn. Just going to Wave High that straight away. Don't want to deal with that threatening the Burfo fusion. Normal Diva. So I wasn't quite sure what it was going to be here. I thought it could be some sort of like Mermail pile, maybe. Diva into Neptibus is quite scary. So I ash it, and he reveals Jet. So, okay, I see. Jet resolves. Grabbing the starter. Actually, I think potentially Sprint, potentially Gigantic. A few different options here. It's having a full read at Wave High. Card's crazy. That's absolutely insane. I'm having a little bit of a laugh here about DDD. Well, what if a search contract afterwards? I have previously played DDD. Big fan of that deck. It's very cool. Love it. Goes into the sprint. Sprint ascend. So we're looking, can go into potentially Guardian Chimera here to clear bodies. But not worth it. It's Angler. I know that there's still a starter, so I don't want to get Spright redded. I don't think he realized that Wave High was not a once, so I just use it again here on the Angler. But we still got starter, plus an unknown. Goes for starter. Has not used blue yet, but ends up going for Carrot, which I was a bit surprised by. And then the blue comes down from hand. That explains. Gets the red. Let's have a look at the extra deck. Chooses to go into IP. I think definitely showing some inexperience with the deck here. Gigantic would at least threaten the Burfo fusion. If you drop red, then you drop Carrot. Carrot threatens the back row. You make Gigantic, which clears the Burfo fusion. But he just makes IP and passes. He was commenting afterwards about potentially dropping the Spright red there, It turns out it doesn't have SP, and I don't think there were any other Links 2s or Link 3s that would have really threatened the board. So it's kind of a choice between drop red and have red negate, or don't do it, have IP into Avramax. Which IP into Avramax is not something that I've dealt with in a while. Sort of looking through my extra deck and realizing I don't have that many clear outs to this card. Kind of similar issue to the Chaos Angel in the first round. But I did realize there is one thing that I can do, which you'll see in just a moment. Sort of going through the motions to get the relevant resources, shuffling back a Beast plus a Fiend to make the Fiend attribute Burfo Fusion, using its effect. I sent the Master Tau there. Just going to bring back an illusion from the grave, brings back the Apprentice, which searches for Kotal. Kotal searches Mirror Sword Knight. Checking the requirements on the out here. So Chimera Fusion. Oh, no, going for Poly. Chimera the Illusion Beast does out it because it does not target the Avramax, it doesn't destroy it by card effect. I realize that Chimera Fusion is actually a legal activation, so end up using it. I'm not sure if I put the Poly back there. I missed it. But the Chimera Fusion is able to just sort of run into the Avramax a bunch of times. It won't die from the first battle, and then it'll drop it to 0, hit twice for 62, and then the Burfo Fusion is able to get in for the rest of it. So it's one, I take a little bit of damage from it gaining attack, and taking damage from the Chimera attack. And then Dong Dong, 62. And that is in for game. We'll go to game 2. Alright, here we go, starting round 2. I just threw in the Perulias, took out Diabells, a couple other cards. I think it was the Bestials primarily. Perulia kind of hoses Spright, but I didn't end up drawing it, and he starts with a Northern Magicaloidal Soul. Turns out it's just because it's the 2. You do what you gotta do. Into the Jet, I mean, it's full combo. Searches double cross though, which I was a bit surprised by. Spawning a DD Crow there in the hand. Goes directly into Sprint. Quite risky. But gets impermed, and then goes set 1 and pass. Bit unfortunate. I think perhaps starter was correct search there, but yeah, made mistakes. It happens. Don't get trolled this time. It's nice. Start directly with Poly. I was thinking about potentially going normal summon Gazelle, but if I go normal Gazelle, then you can use the double cross, take it. Doing it this way at least means that I have Kotal to stop the double cross, but he has Veiler for the Burfo, so I end up having to fire the Veiler for the Burfo, sorry, Veiler. I end up firing the Kotal there to make sure that the Burfo resolves. Get a Nightmare Apprentice off of the Gazelle. Dump the Sinister Necrom, then banish it for a Dusted. There's the guy. One Light Fiend. It's Nightmare Mermaid. Requiem into Engraver. Throws the Requiem. It's a bit unfortunate, but is what it is. We had a little bit of discussion here. So I was considering Crow for this event, just because I know a couple guys at the locals that run branded, and I figured, banishing the one of Brand Fusion just seemed really crazy in the matchup. Ended up deciding against it ultimately. The Nightmare Apprentice gets Ghost Ogred here. I believe that is every card from the hand gone now. Going for a Link SP to clear out the double cross. As then when he chains it, I can then chain my SP as well. So clear the sprint out of there. Double cross gets banished. And at this point, I have not normaled, so I'm able to go normal Sword Knight. The whole hand is cleared out, so I know I'm not going to get Ash Blossomed or anything. I have not gone through the Big Wing yet. So Big Wing here, Fusion locked now, but at this point it doesn't really matter. Up the Chimera Fusion, Beast plus Fiend, Chimera the King. I get the Reborn to bring back the Sword Knight. Chimera Fusion at itself. I've got 3 cards in hand. I'm going to have Sword Knight tagging out, so I'll have the Monster Negate on board as well. Haven't used the Engraver yet either, so I'm going to bring that out. Deal a bunch of damage. It's 21 off Chimera, 19 off Sword Knight, 18 off the Engraver, so it should be 58. Go to end phase. The Sprint comes back. Draw phase, Sword Knight tag, so then the Monster Negate is live. There's the Perulia. Didn't draw it. If you've seen the deck list, you'll know that I did not draw it all day. In the match that I played after recording that profile, that I played against Spright, and now I'm actually playing 3 Sprites today. Finally drew it in that match. In fact, I drew it as a 2 of. You'll see that when that video goes live. Brings down the red. Unfortunately, this doesn't really do anything here. So it's forced to go into a gigantic play. And at this point, I can just very easily clear it. Monster in hand, plus monster summon for the extra deck, make Magnum. The Gazelle triggers, so then the Magnum will also trigger as well. Banish Poly, pop Gigantic. He's got nothing left, and that is the match. GG's. See you round 3.